Hi yogis, we're back again at the studio. I'm always happy to be here whenever I'm able to. I'm gonna bring you a 30-minute practice, and I'd love to bring you into more of a little core exercise. I taught a class earlier this afternoon, and it was core focused, so I'm gonna kind of condense that practice and bring that to you. If you have a yoga mat, that's great. If you don't, that's great too. It doesn't really matter. Just make sure when we're on our hands and knees, you have something to soften the knees, or maybe if you end up being on a carpet, that works out perfectly. So finding those things for yourself. Take a moment if you need to pause the video to go find those things and then bring yourself back. I'll wait via virtual pausing, and if not, and you're here and you're ready to start, let's start together. So we're gonna begin in a lying down shape, so a supine shape. So I invite you to come all the way down to the ground. Find your way onto your back. Let's lengthen out the legs. Bring the palms by our side, lengthening out the arms, and just facing the palms to the ceiling. Maybe taking the feet a little wider if that feels nice, or if our low back is kind of distracting and chatting a little bit to us, we can bring the knees to bend and fall toward each other, walking the feet a little bit wider. So we'll just begin a very short couple breaths here, a nice short little Shavasana to bring ourselves into our space, into our experience. Whatever shape we chose, knees bent or legs extended, just take a moment to notice the weight of the body. Inhale through the nose and exhale through the nose. Taking an inhale to feel lightness in the body, to feel lift. And the exhale to feel grounding, to feel a little more heavy or drawn down to the ground. So the ground is holding us, gravity is snuggling us into the ground. And just enjoy feeling as heavy as possible. And take a couple more inhales and exhales for yourself. Let's come into our practice. Let go of any expectations or judgments and any distractions that may be happening around our bodies. You might be able to hear a little bit of the traffic from our studio. We're right next to the street. You might hear some people walking by, having a little conversation. Just make it part of the experience, part of the background. Knowing it's there, but also taking the time and focus into our internal experience. One more nice big breath here. And on our next inhale, let's walk the feet in a little bit, bring the arms over the head, point the toes, and just a big, long yogi stretch here. Long, long stretch in the body, fingers to toes. Beautiful, bend the elbows, let the feet fall away. Nice long spine. And again, big inhale, reach fingertips away from the toes. See if you can pull the rib cage away from the hips, point the toes a little farther, reach the fingers a little farther. Another inhale to reach and open the belly. Exhale, bend the elbows, let the feet fall away. Notice and feel a little bit of spaciousness in our tummy, a little bit of spaciousness between our hips and our ribs. And then we'll start to bend the knees and walk the feet in, bringing the knees into our chest space. Maybe we rock a little side to side. Beautiful. Let our feet come down about hip width apart. Walk the heels in enough that it feels nice and secure on the ground. Our knees are hip width apart, feet are hip width apart as well, planting our palms on our sides, and just take a moment here to feel a little bit of rounding in the low back, a little bit of magnetization or gluing to the ground through that low back and that curve in the spine. kind of straightening out a little bit. Beautiful. Let's take our left knee into chest, interlace our fingers to the outside of the shin, just squeezing in and releasing out. Still holding on. Squeezing in on the exhale. Draw the belly in. Inhale through the upper chest, just releasing the knee a little bit. So just compressing the side of the body. Exhale, bring it in. Squeeze. Inhale, release. So a couple more times. Squeeze. Use your arms as much as you can. Squeeze. And inhale. Just one more time. Exhale, squeeze it in. And inhale, release. Let's go ahead and interlace the fingers on the outside of our right shin this time. Inhale. And exhale, squeeze the knee in toward that side of the body. Inhale, release, just extending the arms, still holding onto the leg. And exhale, bring the belly in, bring the knee in. Inhale through the upper chest. Exhale, squeeze, use the arms as much as you can to squeeze the leg in. Inhale, bring it away. Exhale, squeeze it in. Let's do one more. Inhale, release. Exhale, squeeze. Beautiful. Inhale to release, setting the foot down. Let's cross the right ankle over the left thigh. Finding the ankle there. Flexing the heel so it flattens out the ankle. You may notice that happening. Just find a little bit of comfortability on that thigh. Just relaxing the arms, pressing the ankle into the thigh, the right ankle into the left thigh to push the right knee away from you. Feeling the outside of the hip, possibly deep inside as well, a little bit of tug. And then releasing a little bit. Staying here if this feels nice, just for a couple breaths, or interlacing the finger in the back of the left thigh and just pulling in toward yourself. If you find you have really long arms or you have a lot of room, a lot of flexibility in the hip right now, we can link to the outside of the shin, and then we just gain a couple extra inches. So it's up to you, maybe just letting the arms hang, maybe actively pulling those knees toward you. Probably feeling more of the inner line of the right leg now in this position. And in deep into that right hip. Just relaxing the feet and the ankles. Take one more breath. Beautiful. Let's release the hands. Set our left foot down. Extending the right arm along our side or toward the side in line with the shoulder, pressing the palm down toward the ground. Let's take our left hand and place it underneath the nape of the neck. So right where that scoop happens and that little bone shape comes out of the skull, we're just going to kind of cup that part of our head. So our hand will just be underneath the head. We're pressing into our right hand, pressing the right ankle into the left thigh to open up the knee. Inhale to lift up, to engage the abdominals, lifting the head up. We've supported it a little bit with our hand, pressing into the right palm, leaning the left elbow over toward the right knee or toward the right arm, just toward that side. And we'll take a breath here, just squeezing out the body. Take an inhale. We'll just exhale to release onto our back. Let's make it a flow. Inhale on our back. Exhale to squeeze out the air. Draw the elbow toward the right arm or in that direction. And back. Inhale. Exhale to squeeze it out. Twisting to the side. And inhale to come back on our back. Let's do two more. Exhale to squeeze it out. Inhale to come back on the back. And exhale, squeeze it out. Inhale back onto our backs. Release the hand from under the head. Take a moment here. Uncross the ankles. We'll cross the other way. So we'll bring our left ankle over our right thigh, flexing through the ankle so it flattens it out. So it feels a little more comfortable there. Releasing the arms and the neck and the shoulders. Pressing the ankle into the thigh, the left ankle into the right thigh to open up the knee. And just feel whatever there's to feel. We'll take a couple breaths, noticing, feeling internally inside the hip, feeling a little bit outside. Beautiful. Maybe we'd like to stay here for another couple breaths, perhaps linking the fingers in the back of the right thigh and finding just a little more squeeze toward you. If you'd like to just let the arms hang, feel free to do that. If you have extra room on this side, linking to the outside of the shin is also nice. Gives you an extra couple inches. Feeling a little more on the left side and the left hip. A little deeper. Make sure to breathe in and out. One more. Beautiful. Release that right shin. Place the foot back down on the ground. Let's extend the left arm, palm facing down toward the ground. Just going to wiggle myself over a little. Pressing the arm down, shoulder height all the way out. Bring the right hand to the back of the neck, so right to the nape, and then find the bone that comes up and out of the head. So just resting the head on the hand, resting the arm. Take an inhale. Exhale, drawing that the right elbow over toward the left arm or toward the left knee in that direction. Beautiful, releasing down to the back. Take an inhale on the back. Exhale over to the left side. Inhale back on the back. Exhale to the left. Inhale to the back. And exhale to the side. Inhale to the back. And release the hands, release the legs. Take the feet a little bit wide. Maybe it feels nice to just windshield wipe a couple times side to side. And bring the legs up into the sky, flex through the heels. Take a moment here. Sending the heels up, feeling long in the backs of the legs. Maybe holding onto the legs, maybe letting go. That's absolutely up to you. Flexing and pointing, maybe circles in one direction, circles in the other direction. Wonderful. Bringing the right knee into chest, we'll interlace the fingers to the outside of the shin, squeeze the knee in. Transfer the shin over to the right hand to bring the knee open, or to bring the hip open, to open the knee toward the armpit. And feel free to keep the flexion in the ankles to feel and keep that engagement going through the body. Beautiful. Pointing the toes of the left foot up to the ceiling. So pointing those toes so you can see the foot kind of curves over and we tuck our toes in, and then flexing the toes out so that the pad of the foot, the balls of the foot point toward the ceiling. Beautiful. Bringing our left arm out to the side nice and long, pressing the palm down to the ground like we did before. Bringing the right knee in toward the armpit, pressing the left ball of the foot up toward the sky so we may feel our left hip comes up or lifts up off of the ground. Let's just hold that squeeze, flex both heels, one more, and then releasing the hip back down. Bring both knees into chest, take a moment, and we'll switch sides. So we'll interlace the fingers into the outside of the left shin this time. Send the right leg up to the sky. Transfer the shin into the left hand to open up the thigh. So send the knee toward the armpit. Hugging that in here. Pointing our right set of toes toward the ceiling. Long leg here. And then peeling the toes back to send the ball of the foot up to the sky. Lengthen out our right arm toward our side, just in line with our shoulder like we did before in our pigeon pose. And then take a moment here. Squeeze in the left knee, press the right ball of the foot up off the ground so you can notice there's a little bit of space underneath my hip. Maybe there's no space, but we still feel that idea of the lift. Wonderful. Knee back down, back onto our backs, arm back in, rock side to side. We'll cross our ankles and come up into a seated shape. Coming up into a seated shape, cross-legged, and finding a staggering of the ankles so we feel a little more comfortable, our knees feel a little more open, our hips feel a little more spread. Take a moment to transfer your weight side to side to feel a little more comfortable. And now we'll focus on lift and finding space in our rib cage. So ears over shoulders, shoulders over hips. Find some grounding down through our hips and through our tails. Let some lift through the rib cage. So as we inhale through the upper chest, breathe in, lift. As we exhale, we scoop the belly in, keeping that lift and still feeling soft, but a little more structurally sound, a little more strong. Inhale through the upper chest. Exhale to scoop the belly in and hold that height. Inhale, arms raise up above the head, biceps in line with our ears. Little bend in the elbows so we can squeeze the shoulder blades back. Lift up, breathe in through the upper rib cage. Exhale, pull the belly in, keep that lift, squeeze the blades toward one another. Inhale, reach both arms up a little bit higher, straighten out the arms. And then exhale, bringing our right arm toward the side, palm faces down, and we find our fingertips touching the ground, lifting up through our left fingertips, planting through the right hand as you bend yourself over to the right side. Bending into the right elbow so we have enough room, bending into the left elbow ever so slightly like we did before, and then pull the shoulder blade back, open up the shoulder. Squeeze the shoulder blades together. So get a grip of the ground with the right hand and see if we can squeeze both shoulder blades together. Let's take 3 breaths here, maybe gazing down at our planted palm or up toward our raised hand. Squeeze the blades, feel the lift of the rib cage away from the hips. One more breath in through the upper chest. Exhale, scooping the belly in, feeling long. Next, inhale, press through the right hand to come back up. Lift both arms and bring them down to the heart center. Roll the shoulders a couple times, maybe back, maybe forward, and then bring the arms back up with us, big reach. Inhale, we lift the fingertips, bring the biceps in line with our ears. Bring our elbows back, shoulders back. Inhale through the upper rib cage. Exhale to bring the belly in, still feel the lift. Bend the elbows ever so slightly to squeeze the blades back. And then inhale to lift, straighten the arms, release the left hand by our side, finding the fingertips, nice long arm, reaching up through the right fingertips, planting the left hand as we bend the elbow and over to the left side. Slightly bend the right elbow so you can bring it back behind you and feel the squeeze of the shoulder blades. Now finding a push with our left hand into toward the ground to see if we can bring the right arm back and squeeze the left shoulder blade toward the right shoulder blade. Lots of energy here, 2 more breaths. Squeeze those blades together, open the rib cage on the right side. Feel the lift. Inhale, feel the rib cage come away from the hips. Next, inhale, press into that left palm to come all the way back up and hands through the heart center on the exhale. Roll the shoulders a little bit, back and forward. Wonderful. Let's walk ourselves forward into all fours and come into, in all fours, a tabletop shape. Wrists under shoulders and our knees under our hips. Just a couple cat-cows here, but first setting ourselves up in that shoulder section. So let's press the ground away, feel the outer portions of our shoulder blades being tugged down, feel the inner portion of the shoulder blades being puffed up. So press down and puff up at the same time. Wonderful. Inhale, the tail raises up. We drop our belly down, the bottom of the rib cage, pull the mat toward you to lift the chin and chest. And then go the other way, tuck the tail in, round the spine, and tuck the chin, press into those palms. Let's do 2 more. Inhale to reach the tail. Exhale to draw that tail back in. 1 more time. Inhale to raise the tail. And exhale to draw ourselves back in. Beautiful. Coming back to a neutral spine, pressing the ground away, tucking the toes. Just 1 downward dog. Let's press ourselves up and back. Long back legs, pressing into the pads of the fingers, the heels of the hands. Pedal the heels out. Take a moment for the legs. And then 1 vinyasa flow, so if you need to change a little bit of positioning with the hands, feel free to do that depending on how long your body is. Inhale, try it out, come forward to our plank pose. Shoulders over wrists, press the ground away again. Feel the puffing of the inner portions of the shoulder blades and the drawing down of our arms. Beautiful. Inhale here in plank. Exhale, send ourselves forward. Feel that resistance in the wrists. When we feel resistance, bend the elbows and continue to send the shoulders forward, lowering yourself down onto your belly. Unflipping the toes, press the mat toward you, or pull the mat toward you as you come up for a back bend. Perhaps we like that upward dog. So let's come back down to our bellies, pressing firmly into the tops of our feet. Pull the mat away from you, pressing the ground away, lifting up the chest. Send the gaze up, pressing really firm into the tops of the feet, lifting our quad muscles quite a lot so we can protect that low back. Beautiful. Drop ourselves back down. Inhale up into a cobra or upward dog, and then back to a downward dog. Pedal those heels, just take a moment here. And coming back down to a tabletop. Let's cross the ankles, walk ourselves back into a seated shape. Stagger the ankles if that feels nice for you. Sitting up nice and tall. Taking a moment or two to notice and feel. Finding length in the spine, shoulders, hips, ears. Lifting through the rib cage, bringing the belly in, feeling tall, supported. Beautiful. Lengthening out the arms, placing the heel, the hand, or even the beginning of the wrist, just at the tip of the knees. So long arms, just like we're spreading those fingers out nice and wide, we're pressing away. Inhale through the upper chest. Exhale to bring the belly in and feel that support in the low back. Feel the lift. Beautiful. As we inhale, let's drag the heels of the hands toward the hip creases, pulling the elbows back, pulling the shoulders away from the ears, sending the heart forward and lifting the chin. And as we exhale, slide the heels of our hands away back toward the tips of the knees. Tuck the belly in and round in. Inhale, bring the heels of the hands back to the crease of the hips. Send the heart up, squeeze the elbows back, and exhale to come back to round, tucking in. Inhale, let's keep flowing a few more times. Exhale, curve in. Inhale, open it up. Exhale, curve it on in. Heart comes up to the ceiling with that inhale. Let's hold that curve. Hold the heart up to the ceiling. Bring the chin up toward the ceiling. Squeeze the elbows back. Squeeze the shoulders away from the ears. Beautiful. And curve ourselves back in last time. Let's come back to a neutral shape. Bring our arms up with this big breath. Exhale, hands to heart. Just do a nice little easy twist to end here. Arms come up with us. Let's open up the arms to shoulder height as we pivot ourselves over to the left side or right side, whatever side you ended up on. And just placing our fingertips in front of ourselves, fingertips behind our spine. Press those fingertips into the ground and lift the spine long. Maybe we look behind ourselves, maybe not. Just a nice easy twist. Inhale, lifting up. Breathe in through the rib cage. Exhale, belly in. One more. Inhale, up through the rib cage. Exhale, belly in. Inhale, arms come all the way up to the ceiling, back to the center. Exhale, pivot ourselves over to the opposite side, placing fingertips in front of ourselves, our fingertips behind ourselves. Press those fingertips away. Inhale through the upper chest, lift. Exhale, belly in. Keep the lift. Inhale, upper chest. Exhale. One more, lifting through, maybe looking back. Inhale, arms come up, reach tall. Back to center. Exhale, hands to heart center. Let's come down onto our backs and find a little mini Shavasana here. So lengthen out the legs. Find the knees back into chest. A little rock. Placing the feet down and then starting to lengthen out the legs. Just like how we started, our palms face toward the ceiling, thumbs roll out away from the body, away from the core of the body anyway. Feet fall away from each other. If this isn't the best shape for your low back, start to bend the knees, plant the feet, and walk the feet as wide as the mat is or just a little wider than the hips, and find a little bit of support in the low back. If you do like anything extra, like blankets or anything you want in this practice, feel free to bring it in. And take a couple breaths here. Find the shape that feels right for your body today, right now. It's different all the time. And just lay here, again, reacquainting ourselves with the holding of the earth and the snuggling in of gravity, pushing us into that holding. Close the eyes. If we wear glasses, it might be nice to take them off. Make any changes and adjustments that you need. And I promise I will bring you back when it's time to come back. And staying exactly where we are. Just really letting ourselves, allowing ourselves to have a few breaths in stillness. Let the exhales be really heavy and the inhales be effortless. Just a letting in and a letting go. Inhale, let it in. And exhale, let it go. Let's find a little wiggle in the toes, a little wiggle in the hands and fingers. Let's walk the feet a little bit closer, open up the arms, send the fingertips above the crown, point the toes behind, reach fingers away from the toes and find a long stretch. And bend the elbows and release the feet. Bring the knees in toward the chest. Roll ourselves over to our right side, using the right arm as a little pillow if you need to, if you like that. And then extending the leg, our left leg, pressing into our left palm, and press ourselves up into a seated shape. Coming into any comfortable seated shape. Finding balance in our sit bones, in our hips and our bum cheeks. Let's close the eyes. Take a moment to feel our practice. I invite you to place one of your hands on your chest and one on your belly, and take a really big breath in. Fill up as much as you can. And let it go. My heart is at ease, knowing what's meant for me will not pass me by, and what passes me by was not meant for me. Inhale, arms up, big sun breath to close our practice. Bring them down to the center of the chest. The love and the light in me honors the love and the light in you. Namaste. See you next time.